Hello everyone and welcome back to what I believe is episode 2 in the new shed. Now I was going to do these videos, these potting shed diary videos once a month. I think it's only been 2 weeks since the last one, but I feel like I've got so much to tell you, and I'm so desperate to just talk to people. Yeah, so you've got me for like another half an hour, I'm afraid. But yeah, I've been so busy and there's so much to tell you and so much has changed. I will talk about the little table in a second. But first of all, I just wanted to say a really big thank you for all the support and all the love on the last Shed Diary video. Yeah, the support has just been amazing. All the comments were really lovely. I think I replied to all of them now. But yeah, just thank you for the support and the love. It was really appreciated, and the updates I have been getting about Ted. He is happy. He is settled. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry in this one. Yeah, he seems really happy and he seems really settled, and he seems like he's completely in love with his new mum, and they absolutely adore him, like they dote on him. So yeah, that's a huge relief, like to know that he's happy and he's settled is just a huge relief, and it gives me actually really good closure, because I was obviously really worried, and I mean I really miss him, but yeah, I know I've done the right thing, and knowing that he's happy and settled and loved is the biggest thing for me. So to know that is a really big huge relief. And he's actually, dare I say, like, it feels like he's doing better than he did when he was with me, and I know like my anxiousness probably rubbed off on him a lot, but like he's doing things and I'm just like, what? Like, is that the same dog? So yeah, I think he's thriving and he's in the right environment with the right people. So yeah, nice bit of closure on that front. There's just something else happening in my life that's a bit more private, that yeah, is just confusing and hurting. But was it January when I did the last one? Must have been, because January felt like a really long month, and now suddenly we're like nearly in March. Like February has just flown by. It's absolutely crazy how fast February's gone. But like I said, I have been keeping myself busy to try and stop me thinking about certain things, and I mean, I've had some good days, some good days where I've been really happy and really busy, and yeah, I've been quite happy. And then like a wave hits me and I'm just like so low and so down. But I feel like I've changed over the past 3 weeks. I feel like what's happened has changed me. I mean, like I said, I do have some down days, and I mean, they're obviously not very good days, but on the good days, I feel like a lot more confident. I feel like I'm not going to put a guard up anymore. I feel like I'm just going to be myself, and those are good days. And I feel like those good days are starting to outweigh the bad days. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. So yeah, that's me. That's my life. Let's get on to gardening and what I've been up to and things. Obviously, not much has happened in the garden. We're not really sowing many seeds at the moment. Usually, I like to sow the seeds direct. That's what we like to do. We did it a lot last year, and it was really good. It proved really successful for us. So we're doing that again this year. So yeah, majority of seeds we're going to sow direct. And then the rest of the seeds, I mean, I sowed a few today, like the leeks, melon, cucumbers, a couple of flowers, and my luffer, my luffer. But yeah, the majority of the other seeds then will be sown in March, just because it gets a bit warmer and a lot lighter, and that's what seeds need. So we like to wait a little bit. But all the seeds have arrived now, so I put my order in. They're all here, they're all waiting, we are ready to go. And another thing which I have done is I finished the garden plans. Now I actually did the graph paper one weeks ago. That's what I call my serious one. Do I have it here? Yeah, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek at these, because the plan is, I mean, I think I'm in an iron about it last time. I didn't know whether to do like a planning video. Oh, sorry. But what I think I will do is do one, because next week I will film the February tour, but because not a lot's different than the January tour, I thought I would just give you a little bit of a quick update, and then maybe go through the plans and what we're actually growing this year in the February tour. So this, I don't know if I've got the other one. This is the craft paper one, which is obviously the main, the main structure, the main outline. Do I have the other? Oh, I don't have the other one on me. What I have done is I've just drawn the 4 beds out on graph paper, and then, planned what we're growing in each bed to the centimetre, because that's what the graph paper is good for actually knowing how much you can fit in, how many rows you can fit in, and all that jazz. So yeah, that's what I call the serious. Oh, I can't put it down there because it's raining. Let me put it there. So that's the graph paper one. And then I've done a few pretty ones, as I like to call them. I mean, I'm no artist. I do like art and I do like to draw, but yeah. Anyway, so this is what I mean by the 4 vegetable beds. Obviously, this isn't to scale, but it does sort of tell you what we're growing in which bed. Obviously, the graph paper one, like I said, does it to the exact measurement, so we know how many rows and what can fit in, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's just a little pretty watercolor one. I've also done a little sketch. This is a dream. A little sketch of what we envision that sort of courtyard area to be. Obviously, it's not like that. It probably won't be like that for a good few years. We're sat in this corner now of a smaller shed. But yeah, that's the dream. 'Tis the dream. So I did that. And then the other one I've done is I got the watercolours out again. Do you know, I haven't had the watercolours out for a long, long time. Probably more than 5 years. Probably way more than 5 years. And I thought, sure, I'm going to get them out and I'm going to have a little bit of a paint. So I did the garden. This isn't the whole garden. I mean, the garden does go, we've got lawn and stuff up there and the workshop and blah, blah, blah. But this is like the kitchen garden, I suppose. And the orchard. And the chickens. Chickens are down there. So yeah, that's the kitchen garden. little sneak peek. Like I said, I will try and do a planning video next week, just going through the plans obviously and the seeds and what we'll be growing this year. Oh, I was going to say next year then. Whew. This year, 2024. So whilst we're on the subject of art, I suppose, I have started. Oh, I better do my tea. I've gone for the berry today for all those who are interested. I do like the herbal tea, and I would really like to start, you know, growing things specifically for herbal teas, and you know, drying them and things, because no, not this one. I've got one that's apple and blackberry, which is really nice. But I also drink quite a lot of, well, I don't drink a lot of it, raspberry leaf tea, which is really good for ladies and their time of month. Honestly, it's amazing. I drink it like a couple of days before, and it's amazing. It's really good. So yeah, I'd like to grow some more bits and bobs to dry, and to make my own herbal teas with. That'd be really cool. Actually, it would be quite cool to grow my own tea. But so anyway, I have been meaning to do this for years and years, and I think I've had this sketchbook. This is one of quite a few little sketchbooks which I've bought in the past and never used, with the whole intention of doing this. I've always wanted to just spend some time sitting in the garden and drawing or painting, you know, little snippets of garden life. And I've never got round to doing it, just because, you know, we've been busy with work and something always crops up. But like I said, because I've been trying to keep myself busy, and the evenings are usually like worse for me, and my brain just goes into like overdrive. So I sat down the other night and I started this little sketchbook. And I've been drawing from pictures which I've taken of the plot, but this is basically going to be just the whole of the year 2024 in a little sketchbook. So yeah, I've been using pictures to draw the first lot, but I am caught up now. So yeah, it's quite exciting. I'm really happy with it, actually. Let me show you a few little snippets. So yeah, let me stand up. Actually, that's the first one. Then me with my Felcos, I gave them a good clean. The last of the squash. The chickens causing a nuisance outside the shed. The polytunnel. The beehives. And the chickens. And then the decorated shed. And yeah, all sort of caught up. I think there's enough pages to do like at least 5 drawings per month. But what I'm thinking is, obviously the summer months there'd probably be more to draw, so I haven't done as many. What have I done? 4 in the January and 3 in February so far. But yeah, I'm really happy with it, and yeah, like I said, I only started it a couple of nights ago, so it doesn't take too long. I think I can do like 3 or 4 little drawings in one evening, which is quite nice. And it's just a nice thing to do, you know, to keep your mind busy. So that's the art. What else have I been doing? Oh yeah, I finally booked myself onto a beekeeping course. I think I mentioned it in the tour video. It's just something I've been meaning to do for a long time, because obviously we've got the beehives, which we bought with us. We bought them secondhand from a really lovely lady, and she gave us loads of like extra free stuff with it, including loads of magazines. Actually, I must get them out to read. But obviously before we got any bees, I wanted to go on a course, because I don't know anything about keeping bees. So I've done it. booked myself on, just with the local association. I thought it'd be best to go through there because also if you join their membership, you get given a mentor, and you know, all this stuff. And because they're local, like they can come and help you, and they can give you bees and things like that. So yeah, the first one I believe is in a couple of weeks, and it's just like a theory, and then there's 2 practical ones after that. But yeah, really excited. I'm so excited. Like, it's just going to be so interesting. It's going to be so interesting. I actually picked a book up from an old bookshop the other day, which I'll show you in a minute because that can be a little bit of the book review. Yeah, I was flicking through that, and it, yeah, so exciting. It's going to be so interesting. Yeah, so that's very exciting. What else have I been up to? Went to London a couple of days ago with my brother and sister-in-law and nephew. So we stayed in a nice little Airbnb for 2 nights, and we were just outside London actually because we went to the Warner Brothers studio tour, the Harry Potter studio tour. If you don't know already, I am a huge Harry Potter fan. That was my 6th time going to the tour, and yeah, I mean, it never gets boring. It's a really magical place, even if you don't like Harry Potter actually, because it's so interesting, like to see the behind the scenes and how they actually filmed it, and you know, to see the costumes up close and all the sets. And they've got the greenhouse there, so Professor Sprout's herbology greenhouse is there, which is my favourite set. Yeah, the detail is just incredible. I will try and put some pictures up. Yeah, just a really magical place. So we went there one day, and then the next day we went into London for a little look around. I spent a small fortune in a tea shop, which I didn't actually know was there until we got there. It's right next to the Lego shop, and my brother really likes Lego, so yeah, it was right next to the Lego shop. I was like, "Whoop, I'm going in there." I spent a small fortune on 2 bags of tea, TWGT. It's a lovely shop. I was in there for quite a long time, and the lady who was helping me kept bringing over these big jars for me to sniff the tea. I was in my element, my gosh. And because I said to her I quite like floral tea, like my favourite tea is the Earl Grey with the cornflower. So I actually got some French Earl Grey, which has the cornflower in it, and I can't remember, a few other flowers actually. So I got 100 grams of that. And yeah, because I said to her I quite like floral tea, like you know, rose and lavender and stuff like that. Yeah, she kept bringing these massive tubs over, so it was really interesting. And then she bought one over called Number 13. I can't remember what's in it, but again, I can't remember. I'm so annoyed. Anyway, it's a black tea, but it's got some flowers in it. So yeah, the smell was just divine. So I got 100 grams of that as well. But yeah, very expensive. So I was like, that's special occasion tea. That is just for special occasions and for special people. My little bag of tea. So yeah, I went to London, done the beekeeper course. What else have I written down? Oh, book review. I have been reading quite a lot of books lately, and I think somebody recommended it on here, actually. Hang on. Let me get out of the bag. So I'll go through the actual book that I was going to review first, but I've got a couple to show you. Yeah, I've been reading quite a lot lately, mainly storybooks, but yeah, I like, when I go to bed, I like to read a couple of chapters, and if it ends on a cliffhanger, I like to read a couple more. And then in the morning I take my cup of tea back to bed and also read a chapter. So yeah, I've been going through quite a few books. But yeah, somebody recommended this one after I talked about The Secret Garden in the last video. So I was like, do you know what, I'm going to get it. And again, it's a kid's book, so I read it in a couple of days. Tom's Midnight Garden. I can't remember who recommended it. But yeah, very similar to The Secret Garden. Do you know what? It actually took me a little while to get into it. Like at the beginning, I was a little bit like unsure about it. Like there was just something about it. Like, I mean, The Secret Garden is obviously very popular. It's very well known. It's very magical. Like, I'm not going to go on about it again because I feel like I over-egged it a bit in the last video. But yeah, after a while, it got really addictive, and you were just like, I want to know what's actually, like, what is happening? How, sort of thing. Like, I'm not going to ruin it for anyone. But yeah, just a lovely little book again. Really lovely little book. Very similar to Secret Garden, but obviously not as big, not as popular. But yeah, really, really nice little book to read. So if you like The Secret Garden and you're looking for something a little bit similar, then Tom's Midnight Garden by Philippa Pearce. Very, very good. Nice little read. So the other books, which I'm going to show you, I will just quickly show you this one because I picked this one up in London. We went to the Mina Lima shop, obviously, because we like Harry Potter. And they designed all the, they did the graphic designs and things. And I've got all the Harry Potter books actually that they released. And yeah, we obviously went in the shop and I saw that they had the Secret Garden version, which they've illustrated, and yeah, it's so beautiful, so pretty. So they have obviously illustrated it, but in amongst all the sort of, let me see if I can find one. In amongst all the sort of illustrations, there's these little pop-up things that they do. There's the key, which is really, really good fun. Oh, this one's quite nice actually. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out. It's a map. Don't ruin it. It's a map of the garden. But yeah, really, really fun book. The Harry Potter ones they do are similar actually. Although, see, I would say these are versions that you don't necessarily read, you look at. They're pretty. Very, very pretty. So yeah, I just had to get that one because, I mean, I'm obsessed with The Secret Garden. Last book I'm going to talk about is the one which I picked up in the old bookshop. Yeah, I might as well just show you. Letters to a Beekeeper by Alice Fowler. I love Alice Fowler anyway. Like, I remember when I first got my allotment, like, she was such an inspiration. You don't see around much anymore, do you? But yeah, I've got the majority of her books. I don't know why I didn't have this one, but I saw it in that bookshop, and because obviously we're going to be keeping bees, I was like, oh, I'm just going to get it. I'll just get it, and have a look through it. I would say it's more of like a coffee table book. So it's quite a pretty book to look at. Like, there's nice pictures and things, not much text, that sort of thing. Not much text, but it's still really interesting. Still really, really, really interesting. I mean, there's a little bit about bees and all that, but yeah, the pictures are really nice, and it's still got a bit of information in there. bits and bobs. So yeah, I thought it's quite appropriate for us because obviously I've just booked onto the beekeeping course and yeah. So 3 books today. Aren't you lucky? Aren't you lucky? 3 books. I think that's about it. Let me just check because I write a little list. Oh, I haven't talked about the shed interior. Oh, it's really raining now. Yuck. Managed to actually do a bit of gardening this morning because I knew it was going to rain at like 2 o'clock. So I was like, right, I'll do some digging. Then when it starts raining, sow some seeds in the greenhouse and do this video. So I feel quite smug. Although the rain is now trying to come in the door and I can't close the door because it's too dark in here. I need a little light. Maybe that's the next thing I should do for my little interior. I will show you this this little setup better because I realise I am blocking it a bit. So I'll take the camera off and show you. But yeah, basically decided to put my little touch in the shed. I felt like it needed it. I felt like it was just a little bit boring, wasn't it? And also there wasn't really anywhere to put anything. I mean, it was all just being piled on the floor. So I got some old scaffold boards. There's 2 here. I could have put 3, but then that wouldn't have left much room. I mean, it's only a 6x4 shed, so it's not very big. So I just went for the 2 planks at the moment. Literally just cut them, sanded them, put them in. It was that simple. Like they're not even attached, which probably is a little bit dangerous. But like I said, this is the shed which we take to the garden show, so it's a little bit of a temporary shed. So we need something that can, you know, just be taken out quick. Then I've just popped like a crate there. It's got all my dahlias on there. It's got some pots, some potatoes, seed tins, my secateurs, my little knife. I've got a jar here to put some flowers in when the flowers start growing. A little bucket with loads of U-pins in, some twine, and got some flowers hanging up. There should be a sieve hanging up here, but it's in the workshop at the moment. And yeah, it's just, you know, a little bit of me here. Obviously it would be nice to paint the shed, but like I said, because it's the work shed, we're a little bit limited to what we can actually do. I can hear the chickens coming. It would be quite nice as well to maybe put a couple of like little posters or, you know, postcards and things up. But yeah, I'm very happy, very happy. It's quite nice sitting in here now with your drink and actually having somewhere to put your drink properly, and just looking out at the rain is quite nice. Although it could do with an armchair, couldn't it? But yeah, it will do. It will do for now. I mean, it's got purple flowers. It's got a little bit of purple, so yeah, it will do for now. Does its job. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Like I said, there's not much happening in the garden. The chickens are pretty much free range all the time now. The only thing we've got to harvest are some sprouts and some kale. The garlic's growing okay, and yeah, everything in the polytunnel's doing okay as well. Not a lot's happening. Not a lot to talk about on the garden front, I'm afraid. And I will try and do a crafty video. I know quite a few people have asked about the crafty video. Problem is most of my craft stuff is still in the move-in boxes because I've got nowhere to put it. My sewing machine is broken. I've got nowhere to sew anyway. So yeah, I need to get a new sewing machine at some point. So I've only really been knitting. I have knitted quite a lot actually. I mean, the last video I done was probably like 2 years ago, wasn't it? So yeah, I have got a little bit to show you, but I don't know where to film them. I don't know where to. I mean, I could film them in the shed, I suppose. Obviously, my room's not been decorated, and yeah, I miss my little craft corner in the old house. But yeah, I will try. It's just, you know, my mind has been elsewhere lately, and I've just been trying to get out into the garden as much as possible. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I don't even know how long I rambled on for because the time's not coming up for me. But yeah, I really like chatting to you. It's nice, like, it's nice to chat to people. Like, I don't feel like I've got a lot of people to chat to, so it's nice. You know, when something exciting happens, you just want to tell someone. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. I suppose I'm just building it up and just doing it every 2 weeks instead. Right, I'm gonna go now because yeah, the rain is coming in the door. I'm gonna go inside and I don't know, maybe do a few more little drawings. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I will see you all next time.